Yes, mates, how's it going? My name's Lee, and welcome back to the FPL Punk YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm taking a look at players for double game week 33. These include players that you should consider buying, and even some players that you might have to sell. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe down below for more FPL content. Anyway, let's rock and roll.
Get strong.
First up, and this is for the ones that I've got the likes of Gabriel, who is currently injured. And we've got Jacob Kivior, which is a sideways move to another Arsenal defender. He's the cheapest of the lot. Probably the riskiest in terms of minutes. I think if you can get to a Saliba, great, do it, and that doesn't impact the rest of your team. I think everyone else is a little bit riskier. Calafiori can play left centre-back. They could move Saliba to him onto the left centre-back and then play Timber maybe instead as well. I've got some options there. Like it wouldn't surprise me if Kivior only starts one and someone else comes in for the other one. Thomas Partey might come in for a game and play centre-back or right-back like he's done in the past. So it just feels really risky, but a 4.8 million might be worth the risk. And you can see his expected points down at the bottom there. In game week 33, they're playing Ipswich away and Everton at home. Two great games, and this feels like a game that Kivior could play and Arsenal could keep clean sheets in both games. Like he's predicted to get 9.6 points over the course of the two games, and he's only on by 0.6%, which is really nice. I think if you're bench boosting, this feels too risky to kind of go for because there's a chance he might not play one of them or even both. It's hard to kind of put any kind of emphasis on his data because he's played so few minutes. I think he's only made 3 starts, and 2 of those will come in the past few weeks. He's kept 1 clean sheet whilst he started. I think that was against United as well. And he's only got 17 points as a result. Like over the course of most of his substitute appearances, he plays 1 to kind of 3-4 minutes or so. Like he plays a handful of minutes. Nothing more than that. So like his key stats per 90 are just almost irrelevant, really. There's no really kind of, there's no point talking about him. I think if you are going to buy Kivior, it probably feels check it on a week by week basis. So bring him in for game week 33, and then hopefully he plays both games. Then he obviously blank in 34. See if he starts in 35, and as long as he keeps starting, he's fine. I think as soon as he loses his place, I'm not sure if he's going to get it back or not. So for me, it's a wait and see right now. But if we do get any confirmation that he is going to start, I think he's going to come straight in for me. I think the saving of, I think Gabriel is 6.1 of 1.3 million to go and do other things for the rest of my team just makes so much sense. Let's move on to the next player. The first midfielder I wanted to discuss was Phil Foden, and it's just so hard for me to kind of talk about him when he's such a good player, and it feels like a wait and see to kind of sell side of things. As of right now, for someone that owns Foden, I'm leaning more towards sell. He didn't even make the bench today. We don't know what's going on with him. I don't know if whether it's injuries, whether he's got personal issues, maybe a bit of both. It's class when he plays, and the way some other players played today, like they beat Palace 5-2, it kind of makes me think, like, do I want to go for someone else and sell Foden, who I think might get minutes in one of the games? I don't think he'll start either of the games, to be honest with you. And that's the reason why I'm thinking sell. If you want to be risky and you want to take a gamble and you think he's going to play or start in both of these games, feel free. To me, it just feels a little bit risky. 9.2 million is just too much to be on the bench every single week. He still put some decent stats this season. 7 goals, 3 assists. Like, he's still got 100 points. Some of his key stats per 90 are kind of down for shots and expected assists. Kind of the same for XG compared to his season average. Key passes has gone up from about 2.2 to 2.57. So, like, he is creating more chances, just not actually creating. They're not leading to like any kind of expected assists. So, is what it is with that. Which doesn't help with the fact that like he's getting reduced minutes as well, and he's not making the bench at times. Predicted points are down below, like even for the double. Like he's only predicted to get 4.6 points. I think that's probably a little bit generous. It's probably more around 2. I think he'll make substitute appearances in both and probably play a total of 15-20 minutes. So for me, it's a sell. And let's move on to the next player, who I think you could replace Phil Foden with. Of course, I'm going to jump straight onto the hype train after that performance. I think he might be back, mate, and he's leaving end of the season. It feels like a kind of a FPL swan song. I think he's going to play. I think he's going to start majority of the games. I think he's going to play every single home game as a minimum, and I think he's going to want to end with like a decent kind of like bang, as it were. I don't think he's going to kind of want to whimper out. I think he's going to try and attack these, and I think he's going to want to play every single minute of every single game. That's the kind of character he is. And that's kind of the performance. That's the kind of performances that I expect from KDB. So for me, as of right now, if Foden keeps going, or if we keep getting the information that we're getting, Foden's KDB is just absolutely nailed on for me this week. And even if predicted data down below, yeah, it's not great, but that's because they don't expect his minutes to be high. I think his minutes are going to be higher than these. I think he's going to get between 8 and 12 points in Game Week 33, and then from that point on, he's going to get a minimum of 4 or 5 points on average over the last few games. So for me, it just makes so much sense. Absolute monster, absolute legend of the Premier League. We're not going to discuss kind of ranking Premier League midfielders of all time. He's up there, but whether he's top 5, I'd have to think about it. Maybe he's 5th, I don't know. Leave comments down below if KDB is number 1 for you. But yeah, for me, yeah, he's a beast, and that's the reason why I've got him on the buy side of things. Moving on to the first Villa midfielder asset that I want to talk about, and it's none other than Morgan Rogers. Cheap as chips, absolute beast. He's been great all throughout the season. Only 5.6 million, 21.7% owned, and he's very much on the buy side of things. Everyone didn't think he was going to play this game. And this game week against Southampton, he started yet again. Made 30 appearances so far in the league, 8 goals, 7 assists, 132 points for 5.6 million midfielder. Absolute bargain. His key stats per 90 are still good over the last few games compared to his season averages. 1.35 shots. Like he's never had a huge amount of shots. Like I think his season average is around 1.7 and 1.8. So like it has dropped a little bit, but he's getting more key passes, and he's actually has gone up over the last few games, which to me seems to indicate that although he's getting fewer shots, he's getting better quality shots, which are leading more to a higher level of XG. So I think he's meant. I think he's class. Got some decent games coming up. He doesn't have a great double, but he's still got a double, and we all know how good Villa can be on their day. And whether they kind of stay in and go out of Europe is probably a major factor for me of whether I kind of go all in on Villa or not. But I think regardless of what happens in the European game, I think Rodgers is high on the list for players to buy. Someone like me who's got Foden, I'm probably going to go KDB with Foden. And then I may be looking at someone like a Jacob Murphy who are playing Aston Villa away. Maybe going for someone like Morgan Rogers, who's a similar price, but has got the double and then some good games afterwards as well. And that's the reason why I kind of like him, to be honest. But let's take a look at another Aston Villa midfielder and the final player that I want to talk about today. We're going to talk about Marcus Rashford. You know, the lineups have come out and he's starting up front for Aston Villa. Like he's starting in the number 9 position, 6.7 million. So he is a little bit more expensive than Morgan Rogers, but I think if he plays number 9, I think he could be an absolute weapon. I think he could be 7.3% owned. We've already discussed the fixtures in terms of Morgan Rogers. Similar predicted points, and that's merely down to the minutes. They don't expect him to get a huge amount of minutes, but I think if he is going to play the 9, I think he's probably going to get more minutes than we expect. And what I like about him as well is like he is still versatile in a way that he can play anywhere along the front line. I have included his Man United appearances and goals in this as well, but I just think overall he's been quite impressive for Aston Villa, and he's put some decent data in quite a lot of the games. I mean, like, look at his key stats per 90 and between game weeks 28 and 32, and he did make a few substitute appearances in those, but like he's getting 0.8 XG. And that's mainly come from 2 games where he got something like 0.6 in one game and 0.8 in the other. And then because of his substitute appearances, like it's kind of rounded out a little bit higher. So I'm gonna take it with a pinch of salt. I'd probably put it around about 0.4, 0.5. It's kind of where I'm kind of sitting in terms of expected goal involvement for Rashford. And I think as long as he plays, he's great. Like he gets shots away, and we all know how good he can be, or how good he has been in the past. He's got a decent record against Newcastle and Man City from his time at Man United, so definitely on my radar. Probably a wait for me to kind of see how the games play out, see how he plays today, see if he adapts well to the number 9 position, see how they play in Europe, and then maybe see if we get any kind of information on whether Rashford is going to play and whether he is going to start against Newcastle. And then for me, he's a very strong consideration to be brought in for Game Week 33. Right, mates, that's it for today's video. So we discussed some players who we think you should buy and some players who I think you should sell. Enjoyed today's video, and don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and drop a comment down below. Have a good day. Peace and love.